Hello, my name is Jesse T. Crocker III, and I'm doing my assignment tonight on the Ambulatory Surgical Center, what it is, and how we need one here in Bastrop, Texas. First, I'd like to tell you what it is, examples of a surgical center, and these are some examples. It's outpatient, same-day surgery, and over here are visuals on what a outpatient surgery center may look like, or an ambulatory surgical center. Okay, the next step would be the need for an ambulatory surgical center in Bastrop, Texas, the specialties that are served in an ambulatory surgical center, what physicians can do in an ambulatory surgical center, and how it will benefit their practice, and the conclusion. What is an ambulatory surgical center? An ambulatory surgical center is an outpatient surgery center, which is also known as an outpatient surgery center or same-day surgery center, which are healthcare facilities where surgical procedures not requiring an overnight hospital stay are performed. Such surgery is commonly less complicated than that requiring hospitalization. With the ever-growing population in Bastrop, there's an ever-expanding highway system throughout this area. With the expansion of the highway brings more people through the area and causes an expansion of housing additions. With the influx of traffic and people, this has caused a population explosion in the area. This population explosion has brought many families from the Austin area to the Bastrop area, and people have immigrated from other parts of the country as well. I've talked to many people to get an idea where they are from, and I've noticed that there are people moving here from as far northeast as Connecticut and as far west as California. With this growing population of people with families and the growing baby boomer population here, there is a growing need of medical facilities, and there's not very many. The closest ones where you can get any kind of procedures done is in Austin. That's an hour's drive either way. Sometimes the traffic is so bad that an hour's drive can turn into a couple of hours or more. Bastrop, Texas really needs an ambulatory surgical center here so that the time going to and coming from is less. And here's the motto that I picked up a long time ago when I first started researching this, which has been a couple of years. It's distance equals time. Time equals minutes and seconds. Minutes and seconds equals lives saved. Right here is a chart that tells about the growth trends from 2016 to 2021 and the annual percent changes. The incomes are like 8.1% in Austin, and you can see the blue line here, it goes up to 3.8%. The home values in Austin are 6%, and in the Bastrop area, they're going to grow and by 2021 to 4.1%. The home values in Austin will grow at an average rate of 2.0%, and in Bastrop they'll grow 3.1%. Families there are 1.8%, and the growth spurt there in Bastrop will be 3.4%. Households 2.1%, Bastrop 3.2%. The population growth in Austin is 2.0%. The population growth in Bastrop is 3.3%. Right here is a visual of the traffic on I-35 in the Austin area. This is during rush hour traffic. So if there's a medical emergency, could you see why the need for one here in Bastrop would eliminate the need of having to put up with this kind of traffic in the event of a medical emergency, or senior citizens such as myself or my parents or baby boomer generation that doesn't want to contend with this kind of traffic, because it could take an hour's drive into 2.5 to 3 hours with all this kind of traffic. Okay, this is from the Southwest Partners website, Global Partners International Realty Group, showing that the Bastrop residents fall in 5 basic groups: bright young professionals, green acres, front porches, midlife constraints, and southern satellites. We'll start with the southern satellites. They're fixed settlements in metro areas, married couples with no kids at home, 79% own homes, 66% are one family homes, and 41% have college education. Over here, 32% is bright young professionals, which is primarily couples. 30% have at least a bachelor's degree and are up on the latest technology, and they use the internet as a primary source of information. Down over here, we have 5% midlife constants. Over here, we have 16% front porches, 50% single parent families, older neighborhoods, blue collar jobs, and price is more important than brand. And right here, which is the second largest, we have the 25% green acres, rural acres in metro areas, country living, self-reliance, power tools, and do-it-yourselfers. They enjoy hunting, fishing, and golf. So you can see by this chart here what the makeup of the residents of Austin versus Bastrop are. Over here's the map of, over here is where the middle part of Austin is, I-35. You go down 71 here, and the red dot right here is the Bastrop area. So there's about 30 miles right there, and during rush hour traffic, it is almost bumper to bumper the whole 30 miles. And on Fridays and Sunday evenings, it is really bad. It's bumper to bumper. So if there's an emergency or a patient has to go from Austin to Bastrop or vice versa, the travel time is exceedingly longer. Okay, here's some of the specialties that are served in an ASC, which is pain management, urology, orthopedics, plastic, GIs, upper and lower, which is gastrointestinal, ophthalmology, and other. These are just a few examples of what kind of procedures can be carried out at an ASC. With ASCs, physicians can gain increased control over their surgical practices. They are able to schedule procedures more conveniently, assemble teams of specially trained and highly skilled staff. They can ensure that the equipment and supplies being used are the best suited for their techniques, and design facilities tailored to the specific needs of their patients. Today, physicians are striving for and have found in ASC's professional autonomy over the work environment and over the quality of care that has been available to them in hospital settings. These benefits explain why physicians who do not have ownership interest in an ASC and do not benefit financially from performing procedures in an ASC choose to work in ASCs in such high numbers. Due to the history of their involvement in making ASCs a reality, it is not surprising that physicians continue to have at least some ownership, which is virtually 90% of all ASCs. It is also noted that hospitals have at least 21% interest in all ASCs, and 3% of all ASCs are owned entirely by hospitals. ASCs provide cost-effective care that save the government, third-party payers, and patients money. Accordingly, patient copays are also significantly lower when care is received in an ASC setting. Without the emergence of ASCs as an option for healthcare, healthcare expenditures would have been tens of billions of dollars higher over the last 40 years. Employers see lower healthcare costs when their employees utilize ASC services. I found out that some of the first ASCs ever built goes back to the mid-1970s. So over the course of time between the mid-70s and today, they have grown exponentially because a lot of doctors and healthcare facilities are going to ASCs. With the influx of people to the Bastrop, Texas area and the upgrading of the highway system in and around Bastrop, there is a growing need for an ambulatory surgical center. With a specialized ASC here at Bastrop, patients will not have to drive to Austin or be transported there to have a procedure performed. The cost of an ASC in Bastrop will depend on how many different specialized physicians will want to become part of this vision. Thank you for your time. Have a good day.